Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahushai, Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahushai, Barakta Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone who rule well, and to the Akim and Alquath throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on to the faith of Mashiach Yahushai in sincerity and truth. Shalom, this is Bermanasha DC Camp with another so-called controversial lesson for the hopeful elect. Things you gotta deal with in the last days. And hey, Esau just can't stop lying. This Edomite so-called mainstream media, or what I want to call them, so-called legacy media. They just can't stop, causing division among the people. Yeah, that's the job of the serpent, to sow discord and strife, being a false witness, to the truth. Yeah, so it just makes you wonder, what the elect have to go through in these last days, to the time of persecution for preaching the gospel from Mashiach Yahushua, for holding on to the testimony. So I'm just gonna read quick precepts. This is concerning the law of the Lord from the book of Exodus. Right, the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 16. All right, it says, "Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor." And the Most High meant that, seriously, when he gave that law to our forefather Moses. All right, and these laws were made to bring stability upon the face of the earth. And ever since the violation of the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments is running rampant, the world has never been at peace. Even before our forefather Moses was on the scene. All right, so it's just a proper testament that this world we're living in is not based on truth. It's not based on just and sound principles. It's based on falsehoods. All right. So another precept I'll need to bring up is from the book of Exodus chapter 23 verse 1. It says this: "Thou shalt not raise a false report." And that's what Esau has done, with his so-called, how you call it, his media agencies, man. He has deceived the whole world. The book of Revelation tells you how the angel unlocked the bottomless pit with his key to allow the dragon to come out and deceive the whole world. And this is exactly, the time we're living in. A time of great deception. The time of great deception. Yeah, telling the truth, would be seen as an act of treason. All right. Exodus chapter 23, verse 1: "Thou shalt not raise a false report." And that's how the elites of Esau have been able to amass wealth unto themselves. False report after another. All right. One false report after another. They can't live without a false report. Then it says, "Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness." And that's a serious principle that Esau always hates, man. He can't do nothing but be an unrighteous witness. Twisting people's words and putting out false information, causing disturbances all over the place. And that's what this short lesson is all about. And I'm sure I can have already seen the video, about the Jay getting arrested in San Diego by this Edomite cop, and then these demon Edomites Laura Ingram. You just have to put that poison out there to further divide the people. So that's how Esau is, man. No matter how hard the truth is plain, you always want to chop it up and make it look false and faulty, and present it as an incorrect view of things. So let me just go ahead and play this video.
In early 2021, the San Diego County District Attorney offered up then police officer Matthew Davis as kind of a sacrificial lamb to appease BLM radicals. They charged him with the excessive use of force and gave the liberal mob license to make life hell for him and his family. For more on that, we turn to Fox's Matt Finn. Matt.
Laura, Matthew Davis is a former police officer here in Southern California in La Mesa. He and his wife say the liberal politicians of La Mesa put them through, quote, the fires of hell for a 2020 arrest video showing Davis appear to use a very low level of force to arrest a combative man. Police officer Matthew Davis is questioning the black man in a basketball jersey. Body camera video shows the man swipe at or slap Davis. Davis grabs the man's shirt.
So you see that's intentional right there. That's why you gotta pray the Lord, keeps you spiritual, and that's the reason why you have to take the word of the Lord seriously, for what it's worth. It's meant to protect you from an evil tongue. All right. So this precept here from the book of Proverbs chapter 20. Let me get it real quick. Or Proverbs chapter 22 verse 3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Yeah, so that's why you have to keep your eyes, man, along that path of righteousness. You need to deal with the light at all times, so that way you would not be deceived. And that's exactly what these news agencies do: mislead the people. Always mixing the truth with lies, and then they create chaos in society, and it makes your life difficult. It creates instability for you, and that's what a lot of people don't really understand. That these so-called media agencies, their job is not to look out for the people, is to sow discord and destroy people's foundations.
Forces him to sit down and then instructs him he's going to be arrested.
Instagram, hands on me.
Bro, I didn't put nothing on you, bro. It's on camera, so you can check me.
Listen,
Bro, y'all hella goofy, bro.
I'm talking to you, and you smacked me.
Bro, nobody smacked you, bro. Where I smack you?
You didn't?
Where I smack you?
You didn't?
Where I smack you?
You didn't hit my
Where I
arm?
smack you? All right, but why are you grabbing me, though?
You're being placed under arrest for 241C, okay?
Yup.
All right.
What's the 241C?
Assault on a peace officer.
The incident happened in May 2020 around the time of George Floyd's murder. This video went viral with activists trying to compare it to the Floyd incident. Davis and his wife say La Mesa politicians, quote, bowed to the mob, using Davis as a scapegoat, charging Davis with filing a false police report to arrest the suspect. However, a California jury ultimately found Matthew Davis not guilty of that felony charge.
Yeah, so that's how it is. It's all about sowing the seed of discord and bringing about instability. No matter how clear the incident is, the serpent will always want to get, I say, look for a way out, slither his way out of being held accountable. But hey, there is no running away from the Most High's judgment. So, you might get acquitted in court, but before the eyes of the Lord, he has a judgment coming for him. And these so-called broadcasters and all these reporters putting out lies and you know, destroying, the reputation of brothers, if they can, you know, the Lord's going to hold them accountable. So I'm going to read from the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verses 16 to 18. It says this: These 6 things that the Lord Yahweh hate, yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So all that can be seen, in this video that Fox News put out, and NBC is the same thing too, man. Always using that tactic of dividing and conquering, sowing false false information in the minds of the people. Yeah, because the elites want instability in society so they could maintain that grip on the minds of the people. So, hey, a lot of people are catching up. This video has over 300,000 views, and it's gonna keep on growing. All right, it's gonna keep on growing, and that's exactly what they want to do. Create tension, and they blame they blame Facebook. For using the same tactics, whatever generates controversy, and people are going back and forth. That's exactly what they want people to be seeing, and that same thing that these news agencies do. They always do that. To manipulate the people, so they could have that animosity at an all-time high. They gotta keep it up. They gotta keep it hot. They gotta keep that conflict hot. All right. So from the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10, it says this: Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right. So you can't really trust these news agencies, man. They always want to come around the camps and try to act to see if they're interested in what the gospel says. But nah, they're just trying to, confound brothers. With all their pride and arrogance. It happens. So you just have to learn to be circumspect. The scripture talks about being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You gotta apply that principle at all times. All right.
Degas says the trial cost him close to $100,000, and now he's looking to get his job back. Laura.
Wow. Thanks for that update, Matt. Joining me now is Matthew Degas, former La Mesa police officer. Matthew, there was a frenzy after the killing of George Floyd in this country. And you were part of that, it looks like. Has the city of La Mesa apologized for what they put you all through?
No, I mean, unfortunately, there's been no apology given. But yeah, I mean, it was quite a frenzy, not only for me, I think, but for all law enforcement officers throughout the country during that time, and still as it is today.
Now, Matthew, I want to get into specifically what happened to you and your family as a result of these false charges.
Yeah, it's what it takes. They'll do whatever it takes, to maintain that false narrative. But hey, the evidence is out there, and the people are going at it on the comment board, man. They're going at it, all right? So this is Sirach chapter 12, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So that's how evil, this Edomite is, man. That's how evil they are. All right, you can't change them. Even the ones that want to do the right thing, they're just pissed off, man. That it's always headaches, man. Always headaches. They can't live their life in peace. And they're just pissed off, man, that you got these Edomites among their own people causing all this confusion. They just want to wake up, go to work, get a so-called honest pay without any drama, but they keep getting this, they see the same old evidence and they get bullied, to go along with the flow, to support the tribe. Yeah, so it's gonna, reports like this is what causes racial tensions. It's what can lead to a potential race war. And that's what the scriptures talk about. So verse 12 says this: Set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. So that's a warning to our people, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. Not to join hand in hand with this system of oppression and think they have a stake in it. We don't have no inheritance with Esau's system. The Lord has already given us our own inheritance, which is the kingdom of heaven. A kingdom built upon righteousness, built upon truth, faith, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and they add righteousness to it. So, what else, man? What else are we looking forward to? So, they can have it, you know, they can have their agenda and run around with it. But when the Lord pulls the plug, there is no opportunity for these Edomites to to complain that they didn't have a time to rule and make the right choices. All right. So another precept will be from the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 18. It says, "A man of an ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated." Yep. And this is what causes division. Falsehood and falsehood and falsehood. When people spend so much time trying to support a lie, and it's causing so much pain in their society, in their neighborhoods, it just become a dead weight that people cannot afford to carry along anymore. That's why Isaiah 19 has to take place. These Edomites are going to go against each other. All right. So this is going to play a major role. They're going to see the tactics, that the media is using with these so-called police departments to further divide and oppress the people.
But this is from security camera footage outside of your home. You can see the BLM protesters marching. Matthew, how often did that happen? And how did they know where you lived?
Well, it never happens, and I don't think that's ever anything any police officer expects to happen. You as a police officer expect that the danger is going to be in the field. So when you go home at night, you want to feel safe, obviously, as everyone does, and you never expect to have a protest outside your house. And quite frankly, it was terrifying for my whole family. So it was
Yeah, that's what happens, man. So Mosai has a special judgment, for this for this so-called officer, man. The Mosai is not a power to play around with, and you know, how you say, make false accusation against the innocent, and try to run with that narrative. So eventually, the Lord will fix that situation very soon. So there is no counsel or wisdom against the judgment of the Lord. All right. So I'm going to get another precept here from Psalms chapter 120. I'm going to read verse 2. All right. It's a prayer that we always have to, put in mind. I'll start from verse 1. All right. So Psalms chapter 120, verse 1. In my distress, I cried unto the Lord Yahweh, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord Yahweh, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. That's what we have to always pray about. You know, from lying lips and a deceitful tongue, right? Because the testimony we're pushing, man, out there on the highways and byways, the words of the Lord Hamashai, it's causing a lot of anger and strife, among the wicked. So they have to retaliate, you know. So, hey, it has to happen. So, final precept will be from the book of James, chapter 3. Tells you about the tongue. Alright, it says, even so, the tongue is a little member and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. Alright, that's how, war start by falsehoods. Alright, and the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is a tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. Alright, so when you put all this legislation out there to push a false narrative, it just makes things worse and worse and worse. Alright, and then you know what? I just leave it at that, man. I just leave it at that. When you read verse 7, it tells you about, for every kind of beasts and of birds and of serpents and of things in the sea is tamed and had been tamed of mankind, but the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. All right. So that's exactly what this report Esau's putting out has, man. Deadly poison, upon, into the minds of the people.
Screaming? Was it every night? How frequent was it?
It was a couple of days, and it led into that wild weekend in May, which, throughout the whole country where the riots took place. Thankfully, my family and I we were gone by then. We left the house at that point. So
they drove you out of the house.
It wasn't a safe place.
Did they drive you out of the house? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, we ended up having this house as a result of that. It wasn't a safe place for me to be in.
Scripture talks about Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. If you watch the whole video about how we interacted with that Jake, it's just, it's going to make your blood boil. But when you just sit back and pay attention, you just understand that the Lord has his reasons for letting certain things happen. And, hey, it is what it is, So when the judgment of the Lord arrives to put that final nail in the coffin, there's no so-called selling a house and moving to another location. Next stop is captivity. So that's the point that I came. The Lord Amashaki Awashai Bashim Kakadash, get us out of here, and continue to strengthen our minds, to discern between a false report and the truth. Shalom.